Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Got something that I'm going to start. And this is kind of weird because I haven't finished what's on the bench yet. But I'm waiting on things to dry. And you get kind of lonesome sitting there. And I'm going to start a new kit. You've already seen on the thumbnail what it is. And it's this Heller kit. I've never built a Heller kit before. I got this from my friend Tony Lancer. Tony had a hookup over in Michigan. He had a hobby shop he would go by all the time. It closed down now. But he would always send me pictures. He'd say, hey, you want this, you want this? I was like, yeah, how much? He'd hook me up. He'd ship them to me. This kit, I've never built a Heller. And I've never built a Renault. Isn't Renault, isn't that a French car? It's a Renault, it's a 124 scale Renault Vivastella PG7. Now, I don't know what the heck that is, but it's not an American car. But it resembles, you know, the Model A-ish era of cars. I would assume that this is probably somewhere in the 30s, early 30s. But I don't know anything about it except it's a 1981 release. So this kit was released in 1981. You're going to build that? Yeah, I'm going to build it. It's the only one I got. I'm going to build it. But I already went on eBay. Don't worry. I've already went on eBay and found a couple more that they are available. So if it bites me too hard, I'll have to get the second one to put back on the shelf to restock. But it's a cool kit. It's kit number 724 Renault, or a Heller number, if it would focus, and it's not because it's got all these model kits. See, it wants to focus on all this stuff. Like, I mean, that's what I'd be focusing on too, is all this stuff. Anyway, Heller, Renault, it's 124 scale too. And it has an engine. It's not like a curbside kit, it's got an engine. So this is gonna be cool. So I'm gonna get over to the bench. We'll get the parts are already out of the box. You can hear there's nothing in here, it's just an empty box. But we'll get over to the bench and check them out. Let's go. All right, so here we go. Here are the parts all out. It's not very many parts, but it does, like I say, it does have an engine. I wanted to see if it had a year. Ah, yeah, 1932. I bet that's what it is, right there on the license plate. Duh. Probably, yeah, it said it right there on the box. Same box art. But yeah, this is a 1981 edition of this kit. They did bring it all the way to 2016, I believe. It's got a flathead 6-cylinder, and it has 5 tires. So I'm assuming it's got a spare mounted up on the side or something. I haven't seen, but I'm assuming that's what the extra tire was. It goes somewhere. It goes on the rear. Okay, so it has a spare for the rear. But it's a cool looking little car, and I don't have a problem at all with building a foreign job. Not one bit in the world. But here are the parts on this one. Got the chassis. It's rather long. Well, no, it's not. I was deceived. The tree actually ends where my thumb is, where my 2 thumbs are, or the frame. There's your engine block here for your little flathead, which is cool, nicely detailed. Dashboard. There is a decal for the dash. It's right here. Hope that they're still good. It's got the license plate. Let me get this license plate. It's got the dash decal, and then the Vivastella 724. I think that's how you pronounce that, Vivastella. Very pretty for a name of a car. There's your cylinder head. There we go. Cylinder head, rear differential. You know, all the things that your domestic car would have. Carburetor, cooling fan, exhaust pipe. You know, all the same stuff. Some suspension pieces here. I think those would be like considered springs or shocks, primitive type of shocks. And the body, got the little body fenders. Here's your rear halves to the body, 2 pieces, which is totally fine. Okay, come on, I'm trying to trick the camera. There we go. I'm like trying to get its attention. This is more important than what's behind you. The rear boot. I found out for the rumble seat. Okay, cool, little rumble seat. Nicely textured roof. Very nice. The texture of the roof will look really nice with some paint on it. It will look like cloth. Seats, firewall portion, front windshield, and the front hood. And you got your glass here. Something interesting. The inner, it has windows, so your inner door panels are clear. So I guess I just had to paint those. But anyway, it's got door handles or window cranks and door handles already molded in. There's your windshield and your rear window. Wow, tiny. And your headlight lenses. And the chrome tree. 2 bumpers. A loud foam. Sorry. Grill. Headlights. Here's your nice little hubcaps and some other cross braces, gear shifter, door handles, and things like that. I'm gonna get some parts off, and one little part that had fallen off. Looks like pedals. That's what that is. Red, little bitty. Come on, there you go. Little bitty pedals that'll probably never get put on. I tend to forget pedals, and I'm like, you can't see them anyway, why put them there, right? Anyway, I'm gonna get some parts off the tree, get a few parts glued together, and we'll see where this ends up. Stand by. Alright, so I have an update here on the Renault. First thoughts, I think they're pretty cool kits. Second thoughts, I wouldn't have thought they would have had a 2-piece body or a 3-piece body, but I can tell you that's going to be the biggest challenge, is the body pieces coming together. The little engine, I've got the sub-assembly, so to speak, done on that. We'll have to get it painted. I think I am going to wire this one because it's got a nice little distributor that will stick right out the top, and wire, well, I haven't seen if it would fit in the hole, and apparently it doesn't, but anyway, and the flathead right there. So try to do that. The grill, I was noticing one other thing is you have this entirely chrome grill, but in the box art you have a portion of the grill, I believe, I'll have to look at some actual pictures, but I believe it's like it's got body color. You see that? And just the front portion maybe is chrome. I don't know for sure, but it does appear that it may have been that way. So I may need to tape off part of the grill and paint it with the body color. The chassis is all put together with all the little suspension parts and little shocks and springs. Everything that's supposed to be on it went right on. It was like I say, a pretty detailed little kit, and seems to go together nicely. But then you kind of scratch your head on some things like this multi-piece body that I've got it put together, but then still trying to fight some of the fitting around the rear fenders and stuff like that. You don't want these big gaps. You don't want a big gap like that around the rear fender. So I'm working on that. The little rumble seat cover will have to have some sanding and adjusting, but still fits pretty nicely. So it's going to be a neat little car. Again, reminds me so much of just like a 32 Ford or something like that. What else? I don't think there's any really other thing to update. I spent most of the time working on the chassis, getting it together. Probably, I don't know, an hour. That will all be painted together. This body fitment, that was the real big deal. Moving, twisting, trimming, trying to get this all, and then deciding, do I glue all these 3 pieces, or the front and the 2 sides together, and then paint them separately? Or do I try to do it on the, I don't know. These are sometimes the difficulties that I run into with the kit, is I sometimes want to expedite the build as fast as possible. And sometimes I also say, well, if I didn't have these, if I painted these parts separate, then you'll see an obvious gap and things like that. And a lot of times paint will cover that. Glue, paint will cover those things. So the more parts you can get together whole when painted, seems to me to add to the quality. So that's one of the dilemmas that I'm in. But we shall see. So I'm going to continue on. I got to get primer on some parts, decide about some chrome parts, things like that. But all in all, cool kit. And it's going to look nice when it's all said and done. So let me do some more research and I'll be right back. All right, well, it's been like literally over a week since I was able to work on this any, and we went to the mountains, went to North Carolina, and I'm back, and I'm gonna try to close this first portion of this video out, talk to you just a minute about this body. So it's kind of a peculiar kit, and the reason being is, so the inner door panels, if you'll notice, they're clear, and I think I've already showed you the inner door panels. But it's weird because the windows, I cut the windows out, but the windows are clear, but they're made onto the inner door panels. I cut them off because I don't want windows. I want it to be a, you know, that I want to be open on the doors. So it's the three-piece body. Okay, so let me back up. I get ahead of myself sometimes. I went ahead and glued the inner door panels. Went ahead and glued them in. Then I went ahead and glued the doors to the front of the cab. And as I'm doing that, I'd already sanded and got the rear section all smoothed out, and it broke. Both of them broke. So I've got to re-glue those. When I say broke, it didn't like break, it just came apart where I glued it. So I've got to glue it again, and maybe I'll go under the bottom of it with something to reinforce it. Can't really do that right here. But yeah, I got to get back in there, re-glue them. I had done quite a bit of sanding on this rumble seat door to get it to fit right. Now this is, hopefully I'll be able to get it to go back close, but yeah, a little challenging, but all in all, it's a good little kit. I've enjoyed working on it. Took my time, really haven't got any progress done outside. There's nothing's been painted. The engine looks really nice. It's going to look good painted. I will put some plug wires because the spark, look at there, spark plugs stick right up. And the distributor goes right on the top of the head. So I will, more than likely I'll wire it and detail paint it. But it's, hey, guess what? I hear the train outside. But yeah, it's a cool little detailed engine, nice 6-cylinder. And you know, your Model A's and things like that would have been a 4-cylinder. So this has a little longer front end to house that inline 6. You hear it? Hear the train? He must know when I'm filming. Anyway, it's kind of a part of, kind of like who I am now. When the train goes by, it's like, oh, there it is. Time to film. I heard him coming. Turn the camera on. Also, I did some research about the grill, because remember I said I think that the grill possibly was not painted, or was painted rather. You can't really tell in this picture if that was like a reflection of the body color on the top of the, it's not, it's actually paint. But I did research. I cannot find an actual picture. I'd like, okay, so here's a request to my commenters, or all of you that are watching this. I would like to find a picture of this real car, the two-seater. Well, you know what I mean, two-seater. I can't find one. I could not find. I can find a Renault Vivastella, but not a PG7, I don't guess. I can't find. There'll be 4 doors and there'll be a hard top. Can't find this model. I wanted to see this model of car in a real life picture, but I did find others that had the same front end. So if you're looking at it from here back, it would be the same. And the grill was painted. So to confirm that the grill is painted, but I'd still like to have a nice reference picture of one. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll tape that off, and I will paint where it needs to be painted when I do the body color. Don't know quite what body color yet. I'm the kind of guy who gravitates to box art paint jobs. So like if it's this tan, or I mean a cream color or yellow, I'll probably paint it that because it already looks good. You know what I'm saying? This wouldn't have had a metallic paint job, I don't think. It would have had a not a real shiny, but it's got black fenders too, and that looks really cool. I might just do a cream color or a yellow type. I don't think that would be yellow. I don't know what color it would be, but the rims and all really looks good with that black. But I am the kind of guy that if the box looks good, I'm probably going to paint it like that. However, I do paint other colors on, you know, custom things. But anyway, just wanted to show you guys this. Also, one other thing is the inner door panels. Because they're clear, which isn't that the most bizarre thing ever? They also align the body and hold it. They go down in there, and it sits on them. So it does help to get the body lines, the body aligned a little bit better. Although I have had to trim a little to get the fenders to fit better. I'll paint this all together and probably go back, maybe mask it off and then paint the interior a different color. But that did allow me to get this all together, and it looks pretty decent where I got the doors glued together, so there's not any huge gaps or anything like that. So it's going to look nice. Again, the chassis is all complete, ready to be painted. The engine needs to be painted. Don't know what color the engine is supposed to be. I did not look at that. If any of you guys know what color the engine is, let me know, or give me a link to a picture or something like that. But anyway, all right guys, so thanks for watching this. First time I'm building a Renault, and the first time I'm building a Heller kit, and I'm really liking it. And I would probably buy more and build them. Oh, one other thing is that chrome. I might have mentioned this already, but you see there's a chrome windshield trim and around the doors. That will, you know what, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. The glass that I cut out actually had trim on it. Oh well, it's not getting the window trim. But anyway, I probably will mask off this area and paint that. I don't know. It doesn't really have a defined, it doesn't have a windshield chrome piece, and it doesn't have a very well defined edge. So I don't know what I'll do. It may be body color. If I can find a way to, paint it chrome, I will. I don't know. I didn't notice that it did not have much. I probably still could tape it off. I don't know. We will see when I get there. What do they say? Cross that bridge when you get there. Nice looking car. I like it. I'd drive it for sure. Anyway, all right, I'm done. Guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to go to Hobby Nut Models, where this car will receive paint, whether it be Tamiya or MCW paint. It will be getting some paint, and it will come from Hobby Nut Models. Big thanks to Mark over there for supporting my channel. Also, go check out the Facebook group. Guys, it is wonderful. There's so much going on. I don't get on there as much as I should. But when I do, I see amazing work by guys. Go check out the Facebook group, Model Car Videos Facebook group. Also, the Spring Store. Thank you. I want to say a big thank you to you guys who buy t-shirts and things such as that over at the Spring Store. And to my Patreon members, greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscription button. And give this thing a thumbs up. Like it if you like it. I appreciate you guys. You take care, and we will see you. Maybe I'll have a little more done when I come back. Renault Vivastella PG7. You can just feel the Francais coming out of that, can't you? Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you. Bye.